Disclaimer: the information and education material contained herein is meant to promote the general understanding and dialogue of GANs processing. Such information is not meant or intended to serve as a substitute for a healthcare professional's clinical training, experience, or judgment. For patients and individuals, such information is not to be a substitute for professional medical, therapeutic, or healthcare advice or counseling. For medical issues or concerns, including decisions about medications and other treatments, readers, viewers, listeners should always consult their physician or, in serious cases, seek immediate assistance from emergency personnel. Prescription information, procedures, and use of medical devices information should be undertaken only by properly trained and certified medical personnel. We specifically disclaim any warranties, express or implied, including implied warranties of merchantability or fitness for a particular purpose. Such information is provided, as is, and is believed to be accurate at the time of its publishing, but it is the viewer's job to evaluate the accuracy of any information found in this presentation. Every case presented is of their own experience, applied by themselves for themselves, and it applies to their case only. Every person experiencing health problems should seek professional medical advice and consult their course of treatment with a doctor. The processes of plasma balancing described herein are a natural process which supports the body but does not replace medical advice or therapies one is already subject to.
It's time for change to move into the real work of the universe. And it's time to understand that we use the matter state to reach the level of understanding of the soul of the man. Now you understand maybe why the Creator has sent his messengers in the name of whatever you have had. Is that they bring the ears, that it can be used when the time of the Messiah comes. They can teach the soul and the message, not to oppose, but by them understanding through those who have become messiahs, to give from their souls to these to elevate, the job is made easy. The school is there and the students are devotedly there. Then there won't be any fight between what they call the Muslims and the Christians. The lamb and the lion will eat and sleep in the same nest. The Christians and the Muslims will sleep and pray in the mosque and in the same church in the name of their souls, not in the name of religion. That is used to create so much conflict for the benefit of those who were the hyperactive children. The time has come, the time of change is here. And as I said, my wish is my command. If it's your wish to see peace, the path of peace is laid very clearly. It's the soul of the collective awareness. By giving will create that position of change. No other thing. There is no pen in the soul of the man. And I'm sure once you go into the universal community, you will never see anything written but the balance of the fields of the soul of the existence. Try to be humble enough not to and you possess. Otherwise, you'll fall in the same path of the church and the mosque. This is what we promised, and this is what we have delivered. We have to understand the operation of the soul, and we have to understand the soul of the man is a star in the cosmos of the universe. If we compare the soul of the man and many of us, 7 billion in one collection, Earth is like a galaxy with so many stars. When we look in the depth of the universe, we see galaxies with hundreds of millions of stars in it. So is the planet Earth. It carries 7 billion beautiful stars, which are the soul of the man. Carries with it soul of so many trillions of animals, plants, and everything else. So if you look, when someone who does not see the physicality of the earth and its content, what do they see? They see a galaxy with so many beautiful lights shining, each one according to their strength, each one according to their position. An infant has a beautiful soul, so has the old man. To those who do not see the physical dimension of this planet, but they see the strength of the field, we are clusters of stars. The human race, every single soul, no one from a distance sees that's the soul of a fisherman, that's the soul of the cosmologist, that's the soul of the president. They all shine irrespective of the physicality. This is the magic. This is what the new science has to bring to man. When we look to our soul, we see nothing but a star in the other souls. And this is the break. This is the understanding. This is what all these teachings are about. Coming to mature to the next level, to understand in the deep space, the universe is the oyster for those souls who serve. Then man is ready to go into space. Then man is ready to become part of the universal community which has been promised. I never promised you heaven. I always promised you the elevation of the man to join the family. And now you have the key. It's you who has to open the door to understand, if I can raise the soul of these people or millions of other souls, that the physical life on this planet changes, then I'm worthy to be part of the universal community. To be there to serve, to expand, to be there to be part, that in the cycle of life of universe, I become, in being part, I become part of the totality. When man reaches that point, a new dimension in the strength of the soul of the man will appear, which is beyond imagination of understanding of the physical life. It's the gate to the opening of the new life, in a new dimension, which is beyond imagination of what you might call a new beginning, a new cycle, which that cycle carries with itself the origin of the creation of life in the universe and the universe. It's the elevation of the soul to serve, become the key, not a throne of the physical life. The time is right. The time has come for the man to go through this process.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 398th One Planet, One Nation, One Race for Justice and World Peace here on Tuesday, September 30th, 2025. This is a broadcast of the Keshe Foundation, Spaceship Institute, Education Department, and part of the Public Teachings in English. My name is Rick Cremond, and I'll be host once again in this weekly series of wonderful workshops. And once again, we are joined with members and support members of the Universal Council who will be presenting today's program. And let me just get that arranged here, and we can begin to engage. Let me see, we have an intro with Moshfek, I believe. Please go ahead.
Hello everyone, this is Moshfek, representing Bengali language as Universal Support Member, Council Support Member. Welcome everybody to today's One Nation, One Planet, One Nation, One Planet, One Race meeting. Written in a little different order, but it's okay. So today I was asked to do the intro, so yes, intro it is. Intro to the possibility of universal communities engagement with the planet. Some of you may know and some of you may not, is that during the last presentation in our Knowledge Seekers workshop, Mr. Keshe talked about the presence of two spaceships from and whose source of origin is outside of our solar systems. That is the 3i Atlas, which is being discussed quite a bit, as well as the newcomer, which I gather appeared in the scene on September 12th. That is R2 Black Swan. So this brings to us the possibility that we are indeed in the midst of introduction to the inhabitants of other systems or our neighbors. We have been in this little village we have known and grown to love, this planet Earth. And now it's time to welcome visitors from outside of the village, which in due course will allow us to visit their village. So the possibilities are intriguing indeed. Are we prepared? We have been in Keshe Foundation Knowledge Seekers workshops. Those who have been engaged in these workshops for over years now know quite a bit and are much more prepared than our scientific community. And part of it is noticeable in the feel you have in the knowledge seekers community versus the scientific community. We are much more aware of things. Scientific community, on the other hand, are not well aware of the dynamics of such systems, and ignorance or and awareness can lead to fear. So for them, we invite them as well in our community to become aware of the more advanced science, and the fear turns into peace. So it's not just for the scientists, but for everybody on this planet. They're welcome to this one nation, one planet, one race, where peace comes through knowledge. Thank you very much. And I think Mark has some other things to say.
Perhaps we'll go to the next slide. Or is there a video you're playing now, Rick? Or is there something else?
We have just the intro from Moshfek and then the peace treaty with Mark. And then there's a video played with the collective images of the souls from the last workshop.
Do we have the World Peace Treaty? Is that something we can display, even though this is in a way a clip from it? There is a document which has been offered to all of us. Originally, I think it went to the world leaders in pledging their nations to peace. But this is, again, something offered to each and every one of us to become more peaceful or to sign the World Peace Treaty. Most of us, I think, are peaceful, or at least we think we're peaceful. We're not involved in war, inciting wars, or using any weapons here or in space. But perhaps we're not as peaceful as we may think we are, as there's another war between the vertical and horizontal people on this planet and the humans. But as Mr. Keshe said, we can't ask you to stop eating unless we give you a system to replace it. And I think in a way we're wishing for peace. We want peace, but yet the environment does not totally provide that peace. So this is something you can find on any search engine on the Keshe Foundation website. And I'll just read it very quickly. Again, it's between you and your soul. There's two struggles going on as I see it. One within you, which we'll call the greater struggle of you becoming more peaceful. And then, of course, the outside world we want to see more peaceful as well. But I think if we practice and elevate our own souls to become peaceful, the external struggle will be greatly diminished. As we look around, we'll just see peaceful people. But as he said, the environment here is not correct, and this is why we're introducing some fields, but it is our wish to be peaceful, and we know the Creator's peaceful, and we're made in the image of the Creator, so we can achieve that peace. As we understand, the Creator doesn't kill or destroy anything to maintain his existence, and this is what we're learning through the idea of science meets the soul of the man. And of course, the peaceful process is part of the ethos of the Keshe Foundation. Remember, we're adding to man's science, we're adding to man's knowledge about the ethos, and we're adding a new language to humanity in so many ways. But this is part of the ethos, where ethos just means a group of people all sort of think alike or think similar about certain topics. It may not be exactly, but it starts out, the offer is between you and your soul. This is where we need to move the soul of physicality, the physicality, closer to the behavior of the soul of the man. Rick, if you could just back it up, I'll read it from the beginning. This is the World Peace Treaty. And again, this is the exact document the world leaders will sign and the religious leaders will sign, as I understand it. And of course, there's more than meets the eye here, as we see in all of the Keshe Foundation teachings. So we, as citizens of the earth from this moment on, accept to lay down all tools of aggression and war. We shall never think about getting involved or incite war, or develop or use any tools of war on this planet or in space. And to this we all agree and swear with our, and you can delete as appropriate, our nation, our territory, our council, our religion, our city, our town, our body. Sorry. I need to mute that. Just a moment. I thought about that before the program and didn't get to do it. Simply put your name, signature, date, again, on behalf of the nation, the territory, the council, the religion, the city, the town, or as an individual. Have it witnessed. And then I think you've just created a paper reactor, if you want to look at it that way. After signing this treaty, be proud to display this certificate wherever you consider being important to you, that everyone can see and know your ethos to fellow men and the mankind and other created beauties of the Creator. And as we know, there may be some other beauties on their way to this planet. And of course, Mr. Keshe said, we will be, in a way, the teachers of some of these people. The only thing we're not carrying is the peace. And this is what we're working on. And of course, we've had 5,000 wars on this planet in the last 3,000 years. So we haven't been able really to get out of this sort of ditch we're in. Killing and destruction has become the behavior, or even the right of the man. So we're just trying to raise the soul of the collective awareness to create this position of change. And so by you endorsing it, or not even endorsing it, just signing it with the pen of your soul, and as we heard in the intro video, you'll probably never see anything written when you go into space, but the balance of the fields of the soul of the existence. So we're trying to, in a way, calm ourselves down, but yet the energies are not there. And this is part of what the Keshe Foundation is doing, introducing energies that can, in a way, enlighten and elevate the soul of the man to become more peaceful. But we have another offer from the Keshe Foundation, and this is to play the game of enlightenment. I've never heard of it till it was introduced, and I still haven't played it, but it's part of the One Nation Network, where you actually teach yourself to become more peaceful. And again, if you think you are peaceful, maybe you'll play the game and you'll become a little bit more enlightened about it. I haven't seen it. I'm sure it's in beta test now, but this is just another tool to bring man to become those messiahs that can give from their souls, that leads to elevate, which is another phrase I think we heard in that introductory, the creation of the Universal Council. So you can display this. This will encourage others that peace is possible, but yet there needs to be some changes, I believe, in our emotions, and in those emotions will have a different DNA manifested and will change and will become less aggressive. And we know the greed plays a part in this as well. So there's many things coming together, but you can take that initial step that maybe I'm not fully peaceful, or maybe I'm not as peaceful as I'd like to be, but this is my wish, to see peace, not only within myself, but across the planet and across the universe, which, as we know, this is part of the ethos of getting into the dimension of energy, or the condition of the universe, is the ethos is to be peaceful. The stronger actually supports the weaker, or elevates the weaker, where on this planet, as we've seen, and whether it's business or people or many different things, the stronger seems to want to dominate the weaker. And of course, we're here for the elevation of the souls, not to try and take away from the souls. So be proud to sign it, display it, encourage others that we're just going back to our home, in a way, back to the Creator. And of course, as I said, the Creator doesn't destroy or kill anything to maintain its creation. And it's up to you. You have to open this door. And I think as we start to play this game and we become more peaceful, we'll probably see some of the areas within ourselves that may not have been as peaceful as we thought. And I know we have the 3 wise men coming up, or the gifts to the And this is part, I think this is totally tied in with the World Peace Treaty about thinking, speaking, and acting good. But again, it's you who has to open the door. But we are providing some energies, as I understand, through the Keshe Foundation that will make this process a bit more palatable, let's say, even though we're not playing as much with the palette as we used to. Okay. So thank you for that. Anyone else want to add something? I see a mic has come open.
Thank you very much, Mark. Yes, it's Mehran's UCS, Universal Council Support Farsi Language. So welcome to all of you. And adding to what Ms. Keshe, Mark said, Mr. Mark, is that we are humans living on planet Earth. The Earth is a way that it has created us. We know that all magnetic gravity in the environment adds to us, takes from us. So we are, whatever we think we can do on ourselves, we're still affected by what's going on around us or what exists around us in a matter of energies and fields. So peace treaty, I think it's one of those lighthouses. You see those lights in the sea that shows the ships. That's where you can go to be close to the beach. So even though the sea is not calm and there are a lot of waves, dangerous waves, and the sea goes around, goes up and down, we always look at that light and we know that's where we are going to go and where we are going to be. And then sometimes we are tired, the waves are too high, we think we are going to fall, we cannot do it anymore. And then we still are alive and we can do our tomorrow from today. So we have to get connection to any way we can do ourselves better, get a lot of knowledge as much as we can, even chat GPT, etc., gives you the knowledge on how you feel, how you are, how to get organized, how to learn a technique, how to learn how to edit things for Keshe Foundation. So we have all these things in our reach, and we have to see that light in front of us, and we have to say, I do my best, and I know I reach that, so, and I can make it. I think I was telling to somebody today, whatever has happened in my past life, this life, I take it with pleasure because those things made my way the way I am now. For example, each of these incidents, if it was not there at that time, I could be somebody else. And I'm happy to be where I am now. I know how to start using my potential, correct myself, advance, because there is still life in me. I'm tired, I sleep, I become better, I eat better, and I wake up better. So I work with all that to get myself to that ideal of peace treaty, no aggression, no fighting, uh, no bad intentions. Because in my experience, every time it just gets out of hand and I become affected by reaction of the people and react the same way, I'm a loser. Every time I don't have expectation, I give love unconditionally, I'm the winner. There is nothing to regret and everything is acting better way. So we don't know what's going to happen for planet Earth. We don't know how we would get rid of this idea of wanting more or greedy and wanting to kill, and how do we collectively get rid of that. But we know that this time we are all collectively in it. So if somebody is better in acting more correctly, they should wait for others also, because this time it's the whole soul of the planet Earth which is talking, which is reacting, which is showing itself in the community, in my opinion. So this time we are all collectively in it. I thank and appreciate anybody who prays, who gives from their souls, who do something positive in the world. We are all the same family, even though we have different religions, different countries, different colors, different sex. And so we are all together, no matter the physicality. And I'm thankful to Mr. Keshe, who taught about this importance of energy over matter. And as long as we have the right intention, we can create our goal. We can create an intention. If we are really focused and do what it takes, we get to where we want. So I wish all of us elevation, and I wish the planet in peace. And I thank everybody who is helping in this beautiful game. Thank you.
Okay, next I have a video to play, which is an excerpt from the 609th Knowledge Seekers Workshop. And it's about the collective images of the souls. I'll play that now. The video is not starting. Just bear with me a minute here while I put the jumper cables on and attempt to restart it.
We're getting a data in the background. As you know, we are watching you. And when I tell you there are millions on this ship, you all panic. You're so flu. And it's been recorded. A lot of you have detached from the dimension of the physicality of it, knowing. Let me share it with you. This, what we see, what is to come, is one of the most strangest encounters that we'll see. And the strangest thing is that our scientists don't understand. Some scientists trying to explain to understand. But
recording in progress. Recording in progress. Recording in progress.
if you do not understand how plasma works, it's very hard for our scientists to explain this. This is where you see the red arrow. is when I told you this ship carries thousands of passengers. You see how you lot drop the physicality and you move with the soul to be with them, to be part of. And the most interesting part is this. You see how solar physicality moves towards the soul. And that's dot of the creation still there. And you see our team has arrowed it. And I read you the text. The text reads, very simple. MTK at red arrow. There are millions on this ship, yearning to be part of it. You learn transmutation, see if you can try it.
Okay, that was our excerpt from the 609th Knowledge Seekers Workshop, and we'll go back to our presentation.
Thank you. With the Universal Council, I thank you so much. All souls be part of the Peace Week and invite continue work in that direction, please, because need elevate the soul, the all leaders to be part of the soul of the peace. A daily basis, every time you dedicate your point of view to the peace. And thank you for giving freely our soul to be part of construct the new era, the new time, be part of the universal community. Thank you so much. Thank you, Rick. Next, please.
Next, we have the wishes, and I'll remind our audience that there'll be a full minute of silence for the implementation and consideration of the wish. And please go ahead. I think Mehran has
Thank
the
you.
first one.
Yes. We, the Universal Council, give from our souls collectively to human beings having compassion, courage to be honest, and respect the other being's right to live. And children have food and security to grow old in dignity. That's our wish, and that our wish is our command.
We, the Universal Council, give from our field strengths to empower, the world leaders to negotiate and sign the World Peace Treaty, pledging their nations to a permanent and everlasting peace on this planet. And our wish is our command, and we are present.
We, the Universal Council, wish for the financial support. All works for the Keshe Foundation and Margrave Corporation to be distributed and accordingly as one planet, one nation, one race.
We, the Universal Council, give from our soul the strength that humanity needs to overcome physical suffering. And we are present with our wish.
We, the Universal Council, elevate the soul of the leaders to achieve the permanent and lasting peace. Our wish is our command. Dean, do you like it? Go.
So this is Dean here. So this is where we join the soul of the man with the soul of physicality. And Mr. Keshe gave this teaching some while ago, where by speaking certain words, we create a condition, the connection to the soul of the man through the physicality and the soul of physicality. So we speak these words in this moment. So we're not present in the past. That moment is gone. We're not present in the future. That moment, we're not always sure what it will be. But being present now, in this instant, in this moment, we speak the words, I love you, my soul. I live you and I love with you. And I adore you. And then by speaking these words, so like the three wise men, where we are thinking, speaking, and acting in a certain way. So an alignment with the moment of the soul of physicality with the soul of the man. That connection of being present in the moment. And I had an experience where I did this, and I continue to do this, and it does connect to the soul when you're balanced in a certain position. You will find these words have very significant meaning to connect you with your soul. We all will experience it in different ways. It really depends on the purity and the beauty in the moment that you are feeling or giving forward from your very essence of creation. So when we do this, we do connect to the beauty of the creation point, and sometimes we can establish this connection in many different ways. In this particular moment, these words were given to us by Mr. Keshe, and as I said, I did have an experience where once I connected in this way, it really did. I felt the beauty of the soul, and I've experienced many different things because of these words that are a thought, our connection to the soul, and then by speaking, the manifestation of it, creating those feel strengths that reverberate out through the space gap of eternity, and then connecting with an action where you actually, in your daily life, in your intentions, you create this as well by helping others and giving to others as much as possible. And I sense that in these moments, in this moment, that the soul of man, remember, the soul of man is one soul, and we have many different aspects of the soul, many different experiences of the creator experiencing through us many different situations, field strengths, dimensions, and each one of us will be going through our intention and our experience in our own way. And depending upon your experiences and your knowledge of creation, and remember that the knowledge of creation, we had various theological conditions that were given to us, and many people have lived through these conditions from a very early age, from a position of being given the words, the feel strength, and then speaking the words, the manifestation, and then the actions that surround it. When the words are spoken with intention and they are from a seed, of correct ethos, then the words and the manifestations will become different. The seed, the cosmic ray, the seed of intention that we establish with our soul, if it's pure and comes from the correct ethos of the creation, from the universal community that are always present with us, and it's another knowledge that we've beyond. It's an enhancement from many of the prophets that came and they gave a message. The knowledge of the creation and what we're receiving now is equal to this and enhances it, establishes another connection, another understanding, and it's always given with beauty, love, and care, so that we can understand a bigger totality. We established this connection through many teachings that were given from sometimes the seed that's been changed. It's a bit like a GM seed. It's been modified and sent in a different direction. But when you go back to the essence, and we know that if you create the seed in the correct way and deliver the message, as I said, the three wise men, then you will find that we will connect with the soul of the man that is connected to everything in every position in this moment. So it's connected through us, with us, and the totality of all, back to the creation point. And this is the knowledge of creation that sometimes we have our own thoughts and creation points that were given from a particular understanding. And we've experienced this and we've grown up with it, and the emotional attachment to them creates a very strong field force, field interaction. And once this connection is established and it goes off in a certain direction, if it's not in alignment with the soul of the man and the creation point, then we might find that it creates another condition that was not meant to be, but we have to then deal with this condition. We have no choice. We have to interact with everything. As we know in the physicality, the air that I breathe out, and then you breathe in. It's the same for all of us, and we all interact in this way. When we start to establish that connection through the soul connection, and speaking certain words and thinking in a certain way and receiving the information that we need to evolve, to be enhanced, to grow, to be able to then give this field strength to our to the other souls that we're present with, so we all understand and we all come to the beauty and the totality together as one soul. So this, I can see we've jumped into the soul connection. So this soul connection, I speak these words. They're the knowledge from my understanding of creation that I've received through the beauty of the knowledge sharing from the universal community, from the Creator, from Mr. Keshe, the Universal Council, the Earth Council, the core team, and all the wonderful, beautiful knowledge seekers that have come to understand this soul connection, this beauty. And remember, if you're listening to this and you don't understand these words, feel them. They're part of us. They are the totality of the understanding. It's part of us. And we are all part of the same piece of the creation point that is sat within inside us and is part of us, all around us. Everything is a plasma, and you are a plasma too. I am. We all are. And we're all connected through the physical plane, and in the energetic soul position as well. And this is where we speak from with this soul connection. So receive as you wish, and be in peace with inside yourself, and let this peace establish a connection to all the other souls that are present and willing to receive the knowledge that we have understood in this moment. Thank you.
And this is where you can join us on an energy dimension at 9 p.m. CEST every day, where we gather the souls together, make a beautiful bouquet, and then give to the world leaders and the others who need elevation. These are souls in need. And of course, in this process, we are exploring our energy dimension, but we're also elevating, enlightening ourselves. The more you give, the more you receive. And this is part of the process. And of course, when you go into the universal condition, you're going to have to learn to give and to receive fields. This is the way that creation happens in the universe. So in a way, it's helping ourselves, but it's also, in a way, pre-staging the next step when we do enter the universal condition, that we have an idea of how to give and how to receive energies. And so join us. This is the way we work through the energy dimension. Remember, there's not a lot of effort or energy put into this, and it's easy to do. We're working to change the structure of the planet through the world leaders. On the physical dimension is very difficult, takes a lot of energy and a lot of work, and the way they establish these sort of perimeters around themselves, you'll never reach them. But through that mother connection, or the connection of the creator, which is in everything, we have this connection, and we can touch the world leaders and elevate souls in need, and also reach the ones who are operating behind the curtains. As we know, we need to look at the world leaders as rather spokespeople for, in a way, their bosses. And this is what we heard in the intro too. And this is where we can exercise this, that those who have become messiahs, to give through their souls, which leads to elevate. So in this process, you're actually, in a way, becoming a messiah. Of course, a messiah for yourself, not so much anyone else. So thank you all. And this is the process that the Universal Council is working through, this dimension of plasmatic energy or cosmic rays, which your structure is set up to generate cosmic rays, as I understand it. But we're not familiar with this energy dimension. And that's why I like that little phrase that Mr. Keshe said. We're opening up the mystery of the matter state of the entity to its energies. And this is the time you can explore this. It's like praying. It's very similar, but normally when you pray, you're asking the creator or God to make the changes. Here, the collection of the souls are making the changes, and the physicality will have to follow eventually when the time is right. But it's just our job to give. We're not forcing. We're allowing the fields to come together as a collection of fields, that the soul of these leaders may pick it up and change something within the dimension of physicality of their structure, that they become more peaceful, more loving, more kind, and all the rest of the good things that we all want to be. So this is the responsibility, and once you start to understand it and working through this dimension, it again, it doesn't always happen overnight. These wishes don't fulfill themselves immediately. Sometimes a lot of other things have to be set in place. So again, as Mr. Keshe said, this is not a day job. We'll continue this process until we reach a permanent, peaceful condition on this planet. Anyone else? And again, don't think you have to be in a quiet room and isolate yourself. As we've heard, you can be hiking the mountain, riding the bike, driving the car, making the dinner. The physicality is not involved in this process. So it's your energy dimension that we're actually applying in this instance. And we're learning step by step, slowly, gradually. That's what Mr. Keshe said when he met with the Universal Teachers Council. And he said, you have to be very patient with mankind. It's a necessity. And of course, they said, well, can't you speed it up a little faster? But apparently there's a process. We're quite a stubborn race, but he said this is not the most stubborn race they've had to deal with in bringing them into the realization of the larger structure or the bigger family. So again, this is the way we work, and it's on the energy dimension rather than through the physicality in this instance. Thank you all in advance for participating, as you choose, and the way you choose that pleases you to do this.
Thank you, Mark. Next, we have a video from the excerpt from with Mr. Keshe, a video from the 576th Knowledge Seekers Workshop. It's an invitation to be part of the Universal Council. It's a short 2-minute video. I'll play that now.
There's something which I should have made an announcement. As we are structuring and in a new development of the Keshe Foundation, is worldwide application and implication. As we set up the structure for Universal Council, a number of Universal Council members have become old and they reach the age of 60, and they served during the 60 years. They are there till 61. To run the functionality of the operation of the what we call energy dimension, the Universal Council members, if you want to become, please consider and let your soul decide of any languages around the world, as these will be announced very soon internationally, and we expect the souls to serve. And if it's from the knowledge seekers who understand the technology with dimension of the soul, you can apply for to be added to and become a member of the Universal Council. The Earth Council is appointed by the Keshe Foundation on the grounds of true structure of the nationality, understanding the culture, that there is no prejudice by physical dimension of the borders. And so if you feel your soul is there to serve humanity in the expansion and the growth of it, just apply for it at the Keshe Foundation, or send the email to info@keshe.foundation, say I would like to be a member of the Universal Council. We receive this regularly, and now we're going to expand this very rapidly due to what is to come and what is to be done. Thank you very much.
We, the Universal Council, invite all Keshe family connect with a member of the Universal Council or with your community and each other in your community to send 2 questions about the many things about the technology of the creator, and to be answered live each week, and at the same time send 2 needs for your community, give to our soul, the Universal Council, for put our soul a new service. And in case you ask your soul is ready for serve more to your community, please do be part the Universal Council. Please. Thank you so much. Next. Thank you, Rick.
Okay, next we have a excerpt from the 114th One Nation, or One Planet, One Nation, One Race for Justice and World Peace from 2020, April 2020. It's a message to humanity from Mr. Keshe. And just let me get that lined up and I'll play that now.
Now that we have opened what I call the final stages of man to understand, now you have to understand you have no choice. It needs a lot of understanding, it needs a lot of positioning, it needs, there is a celebration going on. A lot of you will report massive number of UFOs in huge numbers. It's not one or two anymore. It's just like a party, let's all go there and there is a traffic jam. You will see those happening in the coming weeks. There is a big party going on this planet. Man has not seen it, do not understand it. In a way, without you knowing, you go to out shopping and you come home, the party is set, and then you have a surprise. In a way, mankind is waiting for that surprise, but there are few steps to be taken. The Universal Council, what they call Universal Community, has already laid out the party. And to lay the party, you need to bring a lot of things ready, a lot of souls. All friends are coming back. You will see a new transformation on the skies and in the skies of this planet very, very soon. We changed the whole structure as of last week, and we brought a new dimension. You will see it, you will feel it. And this situation with Corona, this actually would have happened because the soul of this planet was getting ready to join the universal community. And it's a solution for man to find himself in, to elevate himself. This is a universal council teaching. This is what we call one nation, one planet, one race. And in so many ways, we have made one of you, but we have joined you to be one of the totality. It's a birthday party. And those who are organizing the party, it's just, 9 months and so many days, the child is born and you get everything ready for the party of the birth. That's what's happening. For the coming weeks, you will see more and more activities in a very strange way, in a huge numbers. And some of them, they are single souls who left this planet thousands of years ago. They're coming back. They're coming back to welcome the new child. These lights you see in the skies, which will appear as single and in hundreds of thousands to come, many of them, they are not UFOs. They are the souls who left this planet and come back. They know it's the time to celebrate. But mankind is blind. And no radar can see the soul. If the radars could see the soul, every day millions of people who die and get born, why don't the radars don't show? the souls leave. Now you see the soul return. You see the light, and mankind has to understand. You have no choice. We have left you no more choice. We left it to you lot for some millions of years, and you did nothing but just mess it up more and more. And now it's just it's the next step, next evolution. But how far, how much, to what extent mankind is ready for it is a question for the man to ask himself. You come here to learn a cup, you learn this, you learn that, but you're so blind you don't see what is in truth there behind. The reality is, and this is the question I asked yesterday as well, is the soul of the man as a man as totality ready for this transformation?
And I have another video to play, which is about living in space. And this is from way back in 2014, some 11 years ago. And it's from the 8th Kids Knowledge Seekers Workshop of November 26, 2014. And let me play that now.
There is a school of thoughts, not the school of thought, this is a way a lot of things are done in the space. We have a condition what we call erasing the memory. In most of the deep space conditions, memories are put on frozen condition. What it means, you will not remember anything about Earth. Once you enter the deep state, deep space travels, is no use creating a condition going back to where most probably doesn't exist anymore. So what comes is what energy you'll receive to be able to live, to be able to have a life anywhere in the universe. Food, what we call bananas, or what we call hamburgers, or cheeseburgers, or pizzas, they stimulate in a way sense of smell, sense of belonging, and good memories or bad memories, but at the same time they deliver their energy, or they deliver their gravitational magnetic fields. So, as our knowledge has expanded beyond the present understanding of physics and science, we can
gimmick, imitate, and make the smell of any food you like, give you the feeling that you chew the same food, you eat the same food, you smell it, you taste it, and in fact you have never eaten it. But that way, for you, is comfort that you receive the energy from it. You got to understand that, for example, you have a carbon, what you write your pencil with. When you change its structure to a crystal structure, becomes a diamond, which Mama wears on the ring. It's the same material in different formation. The same thing is with a gas. If you make a gas from its one state to a diamond state, then it becomes odor, a smell. Now, how much you squeeze this odor, this structure, gives you taste and a smell, from sugar to salt and vinegar or banana. Very much, as we say in the plasma, you see the white plasma, we call it the CO2 as a gas, or the same plasma in different color behaves like copper, or can behave like iron. The knowledge is now available to be able to do this. You can make a gas to smell and have an odor of anything you like. So you smell as you're eating banana. At the same time, we can create the taste condition in the water of your mouth that you feel you're chewing banana. Food, the way we see it, carrying beef and a steak and chicken nuggets in deep space for thousands of years is over. But you still can have that texture and memory. Sorry about this. We still got things going in the background. So the food, but the thing is, you won't even remember banana. These will be pictures on the memories on the walls. There are much more interesting foods in this space. A lot of people say, what's the purpose of us going to space? The way man has been here to be help to move out of this planet due to what is to come to happen, you become pioneers to help the others who are in the same position, but you still first have to learn everything has to be peaceful. In a way, what gives you refuge, you become the ones who give others refuge, how to survive in the space. This is not unique to this planet. It happens on a regular basis around the universe. So that's why we say, when the time comes to space, those who are clear to serve, they'll find their way into the space. Because the servitude comes when you have everything and you go out like an earthquake zone, you go to help, irrespective of you have a nice warm house and everything else. You put your backpack on and you go and help somebody who's in disaster condition. We are doing that with the human being now, and in time the humans which come into space will do the same to rescue others. This is the philosophy and this is the ethos of the universe. So you won't even remember banana, because by the time your child is born, banana doesn't even exist in deep space. Most probably there is no earth for you to go back to either, because you're so far away. You become children of space and new home and new lands. This is the reality. It happens every day of the moment you live. You have earthquakes, people lose their home, and they have to start a new thing. We had Fukushima. The reactor blows up, All the children lost their schools. The home is there, but they cannot go to it anymore. This is the same stage, but in a bigger scale in respect to man on this planet. Any other question? The future is very bright. It's just you who have to change the mentality of playing war games to playing love and care games. As I was saying to somebody recently, I give you so much love that you can't handle it. You don't need to hate, you don't need to fight. There is something as children you got to learn. When you have to fight for something, you already have lost. If you understand that meaning.
Well, that's our excerpt again from the 8th Kids Knowledge Seekers Workshop from November 26, 2014. Okay, back to our presentation, and I believe we have the knowledge and understanding from the from the 609th Knowledge Seekers Workshop.
Hello, everyone. I don't know, Rick, if you can hear me.
Yes, loud and clear. Go ahead, Stefania.
Okay, perfect, perfect. Yeah, yeah. I mean, the workshop of last week was mind-blowing. Very, very important. Ironically enough, a friend of mine sent me documentary about NASA. He was actually the first one to tell me about this spacecraft coming towards Earth. And this was already like a month before. So I found very interesting that Mr. Keshe does this workshop on this spacecraft, and he done it after the 21st of September. Because as you remember, 21st of September for Mr. Keshe was a big, big date, like the beginning of world peace and big change in the cycle. In the previous workshop, we talked about the end of 6,000 cycle. So it's like if they're really the beginning of the new era, and we cannot stop that because already for the first time we now have NASA. We go all over the internet. If you look it up, you see lots of small documentary about people monitor this. For NASA, at the beginning, they thought were meteorite, but then as they look with more sophisticated uh, instrument, and that also was the proof that if they used more sophisticated instrument, it means something really major, something really event that never happened before is happening now. So they're using this top machinery to observe this object they call comets. But as they're looking further, they noticed that the structure is not natural, so it has to be made by a different civilization, and that you cannot deny that. They found the speed is not normal. They have a trajectory. They change in direction. So for me, it was very interesting that as you look this documentary in YouTube, everyone look like you hear them and you hear NASA, scientists from NASA, they don't know what they have in front of them. They got no explanation because there is light, because how the engine is made, how it's moving. And then in the other hand, we listen the workshop of Mr. Keshe where is simply said that unfortunately the scientists of today they don't know much about plasma technology And because they don't know much about plasma technology, they will not be able to answer many questions they will be faced by observing this strange, like big spacecraft or unknown object. And it's really interesting because in this workshop, you can really see light like the sun, the different level of knowledge. So if you're a person who spend time just into normal science, it would be very hard for you to explain a lot of things that are happening right now with this object in space. But if you've been follow the Keshe Foundation, or if you've been study plasma technology, or if you listen, Mr. Keshe, it's really clear how he's simply explain, and I really recommend that because this is what Mr. Keshe suggests also. He suggests to now our job is to understand how the spacecraft are made, and he goes step by step on the things that the NASA cannot explain. He goes step by step why the knowledge seeker knows why there is a green light, why the knowledge seeker know, then they know why this spacecraft goes faster than any other system made by humankind before or seen by humankind before, or why it's got a navigation skills. So all the question he answered simply, and it's very interesting. So I really recommend to watch this workshop very carefully because explain step by step what we see in the sky right now. The interesting bit for me was also when you talk about, for example, the Nicker 56, that it's what caused the green light of the spacecraft of the, I think, the A3i, and this green light, it's like a lookalike, you can say, the way of make the iron without using the matter state. It seems like they are a physical structure, but they are from different quality of physical, and or like the oxygen, how they're using oxygen 16 to reach to carbon 14, so to make to then arrive to make the structure. So Mr. Keshe go step by step by using all the teaching or by using things he showed us already in the past. It step by step, it tell us how these spacecraft are made. So, for example, he very clearly is saying that we do not have a factory in space to make a 10 kilometers spacecraft. But you're also going to say that if you study plasma technology and if you know the universe work, we've been talked so many times how we can make structure from fields. So you have no factories, but he explained with the star formation how it's possible to make any structure from fields that they gathering together and then gradually they stick to A shape, geometrical shapes, and they become into material, tangible material. Obviously, it's a different material tangibility because we talk about plasma and cosmic ray. So it going to, because he want to show that whatever explaining last Thursday has been explained on the past years over and over on how to make material. And so he connect himself to the exhibition that he done in Beijing. So in Beijing, as you remember, in May, he showed us Reactor, and in this shop where everyone can see, he showed in front of everybody how to make material, how to make the material being follow from the sky. And because he said that the research he wants to do from now on is a research that not is behind the doors and we using big word and we understand what's happening, we normal humans, but only if just scientists you can understand what they're talking about. He now decided to, since May and before, to do experiments. He always did like that. Even I remember even in Fukushima accident, he always, Mr. Keshe, in front of everybody, showed the experiment to be, nothing to hide. So he did the same in Beijing, where he showed the material shape. But he also said, strangely enough, that he thinks the reactor that we saw in China are the same reactor that are inside of the spacecraft. He also says he's been visit the spacecraft, so he knows exactly what there are inside of the spacecraft. But he also said that the spacecraft is like if you go now in the motorway and you see a nice car of the 50s, you say, "Oh, what a lovely car of the 50s." So as maybe forward as he is in compared to a horse, traveling with a horse or traveling with a donkey, still as a very old car in compared to a very modern car of today. So he said that the spacecraft that are apparently gone around for millions of years, they're actually quite old, but they still advance, they still have intelligence, and he knows. And we know the amino acid structure. Every living being is got amino acid structure. It took about 70 minutes pause of pulse. And this for me was very interesting because that for me was the proof of the space gap. You know about space gap, and the space gap is the one that it will kind of give the outcome of the structure you want to achieve. And I think here he said it again: 70 minutes of space gap. It's what created emotion, human emotion. So that's why he knows these people, this civilization is a living being. He thinks there is no harm, no need to be frightened. By also saying that because now humanity went at the front in knowledge, okay? So maybe most of us we are thinking that we are backwards when we see the spacecraft fly into the space, but actually people are not aware. Most of people are not being aware that has been taught to humanity this very new knowledge. There's never been taught before in the earth. So we actually been taught a knowledge that no one else knows in space and beyond. So we actually becoming the advance here. Therefore, this other civilization that want to know as well this knowledge, that's why Mr. Keshe said many, many times, it doesn't teach only to the human, it teaches also to the universal community. He's saying that he thinks that this spacecraft, they possibly coming in this atmosphere to pass through the solar system. And as you know by now, the knowledge is in the fields, is not in the books. No? So they know that we've been taught a high level of knowledge. They know that we've been receiving cosmic ray, the knowledge from the cosmos, from the source. So now they want to have some of this as well. So some of the assumption, Mr. Keshe, will be that they come in here to passing through our solar system to absorb, because the moment that they're passing through, they will interact with us. As they're interacting with us, they gain knowledge from us. So they come here as well to learn transmutation, because as you know, if we transmute, Mr. Keshe said many times that we don't need a spacecraft really. Spacecraft are already part of the past. So literally, these people are backwards in compare of what we know as knowledge now today. So they come here to learn as well. So we are the teacher now. We are the one who's gonna teach to the universal community. That's why also it's very important that we have to stop this killing, because we cannot go into space if we didn't sort out our bad habit. So we have to get rid of our bad habit. And he said we have to now really understand how we can materialize anything we want, spacecraft, any material we want, through fields. This era of factory, of polluting the environment, of creating waste is finished. Now we know because we having people coming to visit us. We don't know if they're coming to Earth, if they're passing through. Definitely, they are not hiding from us. So you can see already we are in a new stage of cycle. So whether we want it or not, we're gonna interact with the universal community. So I really recommend to us to really get ready. So for me, it would be really lovely to go over and over the workshop of the 509 and break into bits and really understand what Mr. Keshe tries to teach us. Because in this last workshop, Mr. Keshe taught us, show us the videos he showed to the governments. They tested on with the government, Chinese governments, when he showed how you can materialize any material and show how gold was literally raining from the sky. We have to understand that. We have to understand deeply how that was achieved by knowledge seekers. They've been understood the plasma technology. So we've done it. Now we have to just, all of us have to learn it as well. How can we, with the star formation, and he does goes through the steps. He tell you that you have to connect these 3 points or 4 points. There's a star formation, creating this dynamic flow. You talk about time, starting time, and with this interaction of the fields. Now we have to learn how to freeze time, how to freeze it, and then once we freeze it, we will be able to attract the fields from the space that we want to freeze to be able to give the structure that we wanted to give, and how we're gonna define the place and the position. Literally, like Jalal said one time ago, you're in the boat and you just put the anchor, and then with the anchor down, the time starts. So these are all stuff that we have to learn now. We got not much. I mean, we now we had also, I would say from my point of view, we got like a deadline. I mean, we know these people coming. We know we're about to have some changes here, definitely for the better. No need to have a fear. But we know these people are gonna come to learn from us. So we have to just get ready. And it's, to me again, was very I don't want to laugh, but I was shocked. I was thinking, oh my God, when I was listening the documentary they show on YouTube's, I was thinking they are really so backwards. They really don't know why it's like this, why it's like that. I mean, I myself as well, I got a lot to learn still, but I can see that thanks to the fact that we've been absorbing the Mr. Keshe teaching now for quite a while now. It was more than 10 years that some of us are following this teaching. And I can really see now the result. I can see now there was not for nothing. Even if you didn't never do, even if you were never had much practice, just the fact to hear every week, those teaching, something went inside us. And for us now, a lot of things are normal. When we hear that this spacecraft is going motion, for us it's normal. When we hear that this spacecraft they found an amino acid, for us make perfectly sense. When they told us green lights, okay, Mr. Keshe told that. Why? So there are lots of stuff that we are lucky because we already understood much more than any other scientist. So more than ever, we should really see if we can spread this news as much as we can, because there are a lot of lack of knowledge out there, and many people will have less fear if they come across the plasma technology and they will be able to add knowledge to their knowledge. So I just really recommend you to go and listen. really enjoy the workshop. Yes, I don't know if anyone want to add anything, but yes, let's get ready. It's gonna become very interesting time very soon.
Thank you, Stefania. It's Dean here. Thank you. I'd like to add a few things, if that's okay. Thank you, Stefania. Very beautiful. Right. Okay. So the systems, I'm reading from some knowledge that's been shared by the knowledge seekers. And this will be NASA has some information, and it's received this information with its knowledge that it presently has through the structure of humanities sciences. What Stefania has just explained there is that the knowledge seekers probably have more knowledge and understanding than the NASA scientists. And the scientists are then passing on and relaying their informations to world governments and political leaders and theological leaders. Now, if they're passing on the seed of intention from their knowledge that is not in the essence the full knowledge, then it's going to create certain situations. The actual these meteorites that we're seeing that NASA are reporting upon, and many others are reporting on YouTube and many different channels. So this is a 3I Atlas and Swan 2R, and they're interacting in certain ways, and they're on a course of interaction going past the planet, and they're going to create certain conditions. Now, Mr. Keshe has shared the knowledge openly, as he always does, with all the knowledge seekers, and it's for us as humanity to digest and to gather this information. The technology is, if you're a knowledge seeker, you're going to understand part of it or your understanding of it. And if you don't, as Mr. Keshe said and Stefania's just said, if you don't have knowledge seekers' knowledge, if you've not been following this plasma knowledge, then you're going to interpret it in a completely different way. And as I've learned from my own experiences and teachings of the knowledge, what you believe to be true, and what through the normal sciences and things like this, is completely not the plasma interaction that really happens in the universe. It's completely different. And so these systems that are coming in, as Stefania said, they have an intellectual connection. They're actually learning as they come into the atmosphere, as they come past us. They will gather the amino acid, and it will slow down into the atmosphere, absorb what it needs to know, and start to gather the intelligence that we have. We know, as was spoken also, that we have been given as a race through Mr. Keshe's teachings knowledge of transmutation. The spaceships, they don't have this knowledge. They, as Stefania said, there are older technologies that have been going around the universes for a very long time. And mankind has been gifted the transmutation informations, knowledge, for us to, to take the next step. And this knowledge, the universal community, part of it, that are roaming around in spaceships, that are in meteorites, and then you might have a spaceship in the middle of it as a ball or something, but the outside is a meteorite. And those interactions, when it comes into contact with the Earth, and I'm reading here, it says the Earth has an amino acid and an iron content that is 56 on the table of elements that we use as scientists. And so when these beings come along, they're meteorites, and they interact with the iron part of the interaction on Earth, they will also have within their structure something else that will interact. And I think by reading what I'm reading now, it's the Fe, which is the strength of 56, which is a nickel isotope. And this potentially may give them a green appearance, or the ship will glow green. And this is because of the interaction of the isotope 56 linked to the iron that will create this light emitting isotope of green. So that is explaining it in a way that the scientists can understand. So now we know why they would look a certain color or look a certain way. It's the interaction within the environment, given the elements that that come. Now that's part of it. The next part is we know that they've heard the cry of the souls. They've heard on a soul interaction that goes throughout the universes. They've come on a trajectory to evacuate souls from Earth. They've heard that, and they've sensed that the planet Earth is in need of some help, because we have intentions that the moment you think it, it goes across the universe. So the soul of man is certain aspects of the soul of man are projecting their intentions to create massive wars that are going to put the planet in a state of concern across the universe. Mankind, humanity, has to understand that the gift of Mother Earth is not just for humans. And that is a very a complete wrong way of the ethos of the universe. Many races have been present on planet Earth, as we all know, and it's all been covered up and buried and all sorts of things. But the reality is that many people understand this, they feel it, they know it. And so because it's through the emotion linked to the amino acids of being present on planet Earth. The space agencies and things, I'm sure they know much more than we are. You know, how can I say, that the public are informed with. We're given, we're fed a certain reality that we have to digest and feel. When you become a knowledge seeker, you are linking into the knowledge of the universe. And when your soul interacts in this way, you are receiving completely different informations than is being portrayed in our medias, in our worldwide medias. We are kept in the dark. The knowledge, as we know, is being shared openly, and then the knowledge is being blocked across the planet and put and boxed in, put in a position through a theological perspective. However, the theological perspective are higher up, are very aware of the presence of these souls that have come to planet Earth. The knowledge seekers, the soul within us is present and understands this and has come to a position of crying out to the universe for help. So if as I said, the planet Earth is not just the human right, this soul is part of a much bigger totality. And it is a gift to the universe, not just to human beings, that decide which way it should be distributed or carved up or used as an energy source. This is totally wrong, and not the present ethos of the universal community. And many of them will not say this. They will give and give and give and create conditions of beauty to help and teach. And I think it's important that in these moments that we start to understand some of these teachings really and absorb it inside us, feel it, understand what's present within us. This is one aspect of the teaching of the 609. And I think it's a very big teaching, because this is the first contact where the potential is for the whole of humanity to witness, to understand the creation from another perspective. And it won't be one of fear, because it's not the one that we're given in the movies where everything is, scary and wants to shoot everything. This is not a reality. That is not the way the universe works. It's totally the opposite. They're very loving, caring, giving part of the creation. There's not a point where they would come to take the physicality. They would give unconditionally. That's what the beings, the universal souls. I've experienced this. I've come to understand a tiny fraction of the beauty that they give, and they're very shy. They have immense beauty from the Creator, but they do not come to harm. They come to help, to create. It's humanity that has to grow up very fast and understand the position that we take. And there's the word, take. The universal condition is to give and to receive if it's given freely. If it's not given freely, then you're taking. You're receiving the energy by creating it in the wrong way. And that's not the creation point. So this 609 for me was a very, very big emotional understanding. Some of the knowledge, having been through some of the teachings, I've come to understand a little bit more. If you're just listening to this now, then it's it's a very big topic to digest very quickly. I'm just reading the next bit here. So be aware the Israelis have sounded the horn of change, war. So this horn of interaction through theology has been sounded across across the planet for all the beings, all the souls that are in power to understand and to know that this is taking place. The soul of the man and the soul of the beings in these meteorites that have come to extract the souls if the planet is put into a position of being in any way unlivable, that we, in physical form, that we cannot be present. So these beings have come forward from the universe and are positioning themselves around the planet. They've probably already landed in certain positions to help humanity to, evacuate the beautiful souls so they don't have to go through this horrendous position that is taking place on our planet, or being, so say, we are being positioned to do this. Mr. Keshe and the Foundation, the Universal Council, all the beautiful knowledge seekers, they all have their own understanding. This is partly some of my understanding. But this information is big, and we need to establish the peace within inside ourselves to be able to be present with these universal beings that are here to help. The physical side of going through a control system that wants to take away the physicality of many human beings and many plants and animals, our vertical friends, by creating a condition, I don't think will be allowed. I think we're now in that transitional period where the soul of the planet, the souls that are present amongst us, yourself, myself, the soul of the creation will not allow this anymore. And when we understand this and we elevate our soul and give from our soul to this condition, to these beings, then we will change in an instant. We'll rewrite the script. And the choice is ours to accept what we would like it to be. We can listen to all the informations that are gathered and given to us and absorb them into our very being and act upon it in the wrong way because of the information's, the seed of it is incorrect. Or we can gather the knowledge and the beauty that has been shared with humanity and understand it and interact in the correct manner. And I think if we don't do it, then the universal community, these these beings, these souls that are present, will help humanity through this transitional period. And Mr. Keshe has been delivering this message for a very, very long time now and teaching us bit by bit. And I think that many souls now have come to the position of their sense in this all across the planet. And my words will probably reach some of the knowledge seekers, and then that'll be it. It's a bit like the prophets when they first came. You know, they gave a message, it went to a few, 12 or whatever, and then it got distributed. But sometimes that message then gets disbanded and it changes and it gets rewritten. The seed is changed. This message this time is going to be delivered not just on the physical side. It's been delivered on the soul, on a soul aspect, the soul of man. That means that all of us, as Mark was saying earlier, are messiahs. I am the messiah of myself. And I've understood a tiny fraction of the creation point. And when we share this knowledge openly, then you receive the knowledge and then you elevate. And it's not just in the physical form. There's, we have the physical side of us that is linked to the planet, that is being in chaos and is going through these transitions. And then we have the theological side, and not the teachings that we've been given by the prophet or the prophets. It's the next stage on. The universal knowledge is coming to elevate us even more, to come to a new understanding, an enhanced understanding of the creation point that the Creator is bringing forward in each of us, within us. And we are going through this position of interaction in our environment through all the elements and the amino acid interaction through our human form. Our human form also carries the soul of the man within our structure. That soul of the man is connected to the universal condition. And when we lose our when we lose our physicality, we reconnect anyway. And we do this every evening or in the day, whenever you sleep, you dream, you connect to your soul. The illusion of the physicality changes. When we start to understand this knowledge much more deeply and we start to go within ourselves, the interactions change. Then you connect on a soul level with the universal community, with the soul of man linked to the Creator that is sending the message for us to join a bigger totality, not just this one tiny little position that we base all of our viewpoint upon. We need to expand ourselves. We need to grow. We need to open up the plasma that is part of us. So that's my understanding of some of it, and I'm sure there's much, much more to it. I know that these craft are traveling, it's saying here that these craft are traveling at 70,000 kilometers per second. So they are traveling the universe at vast speeds and beyond what the sciences have told us, the prophet or the science that we've believed has told us. It's the next stage on. And this is still the matter state. That's still slow. The knowledge of the man has been given a gift of transmutation. That's instant. That's anywhere in the universes, back to any position, instantly. You don't need a spaceship. You don't need the physical. You can then transmute to a position, and then in that position, if it's in a position that you wish for the beauty, you may want to go physical again or be part of a structure that's physical. And then you will change your shape to that position once in the environment. As these beings, these souls that are outside the atmosphere right now will do when they transmute, or when they, whatever technology they have, they come through into us, or maybe they don't need to, as Mr. Keshe said in the teaching. Maybe they can just position, and they have the knowledge, the understanding to help the souls that need to transmute off the planet, and maybe they just position and just receive the soul of the man or the soul of the physicality, maybe, to actually take them away, so that we don't go through this cycle of devastation of the planet Earth being made, inhabitable. I can't even say the word. Not being able to be able to live on it because of a nuclear wars and all this construct of control that is creating a condition where all the souls are in turmoil. But remember what we said. If we go back to the understanding of the soul of the man linked to the creation point, that's within us. We are creating this by being outside of the creation point. And that links back to the sounding the horn of war. What about sounding the horn of peace, of beauty within us? As soon as we speak the word war, what field strength do we give out? Your heartbeat raises. You feel anxiety, a different aspect. And when you go to the peaceful side of you, you go to the soul, it doesn't know of war. It has no illusions of war. It's a state of consciousness, it's a state of being that is present in the moment. And the three wise men, thinking, speaking and acting in a certain way. And if this message was delivered to mankind by the part of theology that didn't deliver it, because they changed it, then maybe we wouldn't be in this position right now. The seed of intention would have changed, and the whole of humanity would have taken another route, and hopefully a more beautiful route. We're now in that position right now where the beings are present with us, because we're at a precipice of a position, the end of a 6,000-year cycle, as Mr. Keshe would say. And I know that many of the theological peoples around the world are very aware of this. And they're basing their calendars and they're basing their times and their interactions on this position. And this is how they create. And in this moment, the Universal Council and the beauty that is present on this planet are creating another condition to give back to humanity, for us to understand our bigger picture, being present as a creator on planet Earth, as we all are. And thank you for listening. I'm sure there's more to be said by others, and hopefully you've got an understanding of what is to come and what we can do. We together as one can create what we wish. And a little bit of knowledge goes a long way when it's from a seed that's correct. The field strength that then goes out across the planet can change everything in an instant, can flip it. So be the beauty in this moment and understand the divinity and the beauty that you have within your creation point that is linked to the Creator at this precise moment. And we are present. Thank you. Thank you for listening.
Okay, thank you, Dean. And speaking of the 609th Knowledge Seekers Workshop, we have an excerpt here about the network systems. And let me play that now.
Not really. We've just been occupied with a lot of things as usual. Working very hard to work with the governments, work with the militaries, work with the
the expansion of these units for everyone, and at the same time trying to upload, upgrade, and understand other part of the technology. The next step for us, as we'll ask very soon to join us, is production of the what we call intelligence system using pico materials, which will change the world of the computers immensely. This is the next target for us because everything else is getting developed. And the flight systems is partially of all what you see, what we explained, or what the scientists tell us. The one system which they detected recently, what I call the R2, carries huge or exposes huge amount of never could be thought of CO2, which now we understand is a combination of interaction of the fields on this planet. It has to do, and it comes because that system is more advanced. It's carrier of the carbon-14 conversion system, and it releases this CO2, massive amount of CO2 out of interaction of the field of the solar system, and it doesn't do it in the space. The solar system has a habit of creating a magnetic field in the region of the iron, which is oxygen 4, and it sits with the carbon-14. In a way, if the scientists look further in, they see carbon-14, oxygen 14, not oxygen 16, and this does not create on Earth. We cannot do it, but in fact, we see two reflections of the same atom, and it considers to be a CO2. I'll explain this one day. It's the backbone of the structure of the physicality in many, many galaxies. But in all, we're still looking. We are looking for knowledge seekers to purchase more of these units that we can bring this system in with what we call universal systems. We have received offers and people who made commitments and are fulfilling their commitments, and we are moving forward. 4 more units, which is the part of our system, will be handed over to us next few days, which brings the total system operational to 10 around the world, and with the control system and the rest of it. And once we do the configuration, the people who are involved are happy with it, then the mass production of the first 200, 250 units will be going ahead in October, and you start receiving your units, and our other structures will supply you the systems which you'll be able to communicate with these 3 eyes. That's one of the beauty of it. It has an antenna which interacts with universal communication system. And if you remember, this is what we told you from the beginning. And it has the capability to interact. In a way, governments can directly interact with the system, convert into the language of the soul. And it's very easy. We are producing the material for it, and we are producing the communication system for it. And there's one thing, no one ever can replicate these systems. One day we'll tell you why and how. Any system, the 10,000 units with antennas going out of the Keshe Foundation structure, can never be replicated, and no one, unless we do with a code, can build such a thing. And there is a reason for it. And that becomes a cornerstone of the world peace and the structure which goes with. Really, there's something I have to mention before I forget.
sorry, there is no session tomorrow because we brought the session to the beginning of the month. But once our system is ready, because we're developing a system, once our material is ready, we will run most probably 2 sessions in in October. What material we are looking for to produce is not completely there, and we just don't want to waste them just because we said we have a session, we might have it. So we brought the session forward. We already had the October session ahead at the beginning of the month. So when our material is ready, we hope it'll be ready next week or 2. Then we might have 2 sessions in October, the same way as we done last year. Even though you paid for 1, it doesn't matter. We try to complete our technology by then. So please remember, there is no session tomorrow. You already had the session at the beginning of the month. Any other question, or shall we call it a day? It's nearly 3
Sure. Yes, thank you, Mr. Keshe.
Thank you very much. Just be aware of what's going on. We're still waiting for that pending promise of whatever. Some authorities tells us different thing, and now we know the Israelis have sound the horn of a change of 1,000 years and the beginning of a new cycle in Israel past a few days. So that's a war, and this is what called the sign of war, the horn of war, because that's what they used to do during the Moses time, and we have to see what will be the outcome. And sitting and watching. I hope we're all safe as we've been safe in the past few weeks, and we will safe next week. But I have a different concept of understanding what these people are up to and what they're doing. And I wish you all the best wherever you are to be safe. Thank you very much, and see you next week.
Okay, that was our excerpt from the 609th Knowledge Seekers Workshop of last Thursday, September 25th. And now it's time for transmutation with Moshfek and Dean and Mark. Please go ahead.
Hello, everyone. This is Moshfek again. So, as we all know by now, that the neighbors are arriving and the festivities are about to begin. So, and the neighbors are expecting to be, what do you call it, treated in the festivities, and the treat in this case is our ability to transmute. The transmutation we are learning. So the neighbor is arriving. We better get ready. It's time to transmute, as they say. So, as what do you call it? Participant in the universal activity, we are in that position.
I think Mosfek just dropped out. We'll have to wait for him to come back. Dean, I'll yield you my time if you'd like.
See, Moshfek is reformulating.
Okay, I dropped off. Can you hear me?
Yes, we hear you now. Go ahead.
Must have transmuted.
I think so.
Well, the transmuting. So, but so these people are, you know, the words are out. You know, they know it, And we are also getting the clue that transmutation has to happen. This is our participation in the universal community to get our neighbors to feel well treated. And yes, they have some technology. We also know a little bit about them, but here we cooperate. They show us their trait and we show us our trait. It's not like we have to, have a feast like the way we used to do. It's taking off energy from other life forms, but it's our ability to create and their ability to create. We are participating in a creation of a new time, a new time of transmutation. So is it like, are they here for what we do, or we are seeing them arriving because what they can do, because we want to engage with them or engage with their ability. So it's something like they're here for us. We are also there for them. So it's not like they're coming out here for only their reason or whatever that may be, and we are not meeting them just because they want to come here. So it's as they say, it's not a coincidence. We are both ready for it, and we are ready for it, yes. But we should do our best and learn as much, enhance as much, or hone as much our transmutation ability, so that, and do our neighborly service, in the sense that we allow them to experience a new way of creating, a new way of participating in the creation process. Yeah, we may in the process we may get a jump start in what you call it, the more traditional UFO technology and flying saucer technology, but we are also ready for that. So, and as knowledge seekers, we are much better aware of it. And this also allow us to be the bridge between them and our scientific community at large, that community is not particularly well aware of the technologies involved. Shall we say that they're stoned by the stony surface of these crafts? But we know it's part of the traveling methods in places like solar system. And as they come in contact with the atmospheric conditions on this planet and other planets, we are likely to see a different manifestation of this spaceship, because the environmental interaction that the fields create that stony surface will change. So transmutation, they know transmutation in that way. We are aware of the technology there, but the areas we are experimenting in Keshe Foundation and with plasma technology are in the dimension of soul and soul's engagement with the fields. So there are things we have to do. So, and in a way, there is a bit of urgency, shall we say. So let's get our soul and mind in gear and get on with it. And it's not just for us, you know. It's for the community, the larger community that we are coming in contact. It's a proper neighborly conduct. So we asked for universal contact, we have it, but it's not just, you know, what do you call it? Consider them as gods and goddesses and so forth. We too are equal participants in it. So, and we must accept. And this is part of growing up. And growing up, not just for the, let's say, Keshe Foundation community, but the growing up of humanity as a whole. We are acting, it's not we are acting, it's we are the ambassadors of the planet. And we have been trained for it. We are preparing for it. And the job has to be done. So our understanding, which is not present everywhere on the planet, can not only bring us closer to this universal community, but the whole humanity as a whole. Because there are gaps and what do you call it, artificial features, and that has been created by various mistreatment. But in a way that also creates a momentum of cohesion and all that, that is we are heading towards. And perhaps it may provide us with additional glue to maintain and sustain the peace which we are all aspiring towards. And this is the part. The part is not just the transmutation at the individual level and the skills we develop, but in the transmutation of humanity as a whole towards the planetary peace. So, as I say, the opportunity is very close to our door. Have we heard the knocking? Thank you very much. And that will be all for today. Anyone else wants to add to it?
Yes, my dear Maushik, thank you. How beautifully you said knocking. Yes, of course. And I would say that now they name it as 3i Atlas. It is a very ancient, well, I will say spacecraft or the soul that has came. There will be a cosmic marriage that is going to happen. Like with all the ailments, this 3i Atlas, the ancient people know, the Vatican knows, the NASA knows, and all the NASA's animation doesn't work now because you can see, everybody can see this after some time. And I have seen this around the sun, and I have seen this live with my own eyes. And now I can see even this 3i Atlas has ocean. But then, like a groom, it came, there's the soul, with all the beauty in it. But to operate that, the beauty, to operate the soul, there is this bride, Mother Earth, with all of us as collective. So this beauty, we know how to operate the cities inside, Like when when uh, uh, a groom comes and the bride goes with him, and she's kind of a homemaker, you know, and everything was like when the groom was alone is kind of not working, but when the bride stepped in with his magnitude, here we say the Shiva came and the Shakti, the strength, the power begin, and this creates this new home, new way to live, the new child. So this is a cosmic marriage, and of course I will say that um, we all have to be, we want or we don't want, we have to be in this well, I will say in this magnitude, and all has to prepare, all has to be transmuted, so that if you say this energy, and we are not all in the same boat, but if you say it's a storm, some have yachts, some have canoes, and some are drowned. Just be kind and help whoever you can, whoever you can. My dear beautiful souls, it will be all over. It is massive, massive. And all the ships that will come to land, and already there are military emergency meetings are going on. And and even in these animated things they have given, NASA is giving, people are learning, know in their awakened mind, body, and this alignment is there. It is happening in a peaceful way. And as we are in this knowledge, the ethos of Mitra, we know, well, a kind of, we know how to understand. We know how to understand. As before 11, 15 years ago, I was like trash type of a guy. I will say that here it is, here, whatever other people say, I manifested. But now, with this knowledge, then we achieved here in Keshe Foundation, the ethos of Mitra, we understand how to manifest with this new, well, how to be a bride, to be with this groom. So thank you, my dear beautiful souls. Thank you, my dear Moshpik team. Thank you so much. Salam, namaste, salute.
Okay, another transmutation test coming up, and I think this is what has attracted these entities towards the Earth. As Mr. Keshe said, the knowledge seekers have, because of the transmutation and transmuting, the knowledge seekers have become darlings of the universal community at the moment, because we've been taught how to command the soul, or how to command the emotions, I should say, through the soul. And this is something that they're curious about and wondering how man got this knowledge. So Mr. Keshe's teachings in this program of transmutation testing has apparently perked up the receivers or the ears, if they have them, of other entities. And this is one of the reasons the 3i, I think, is traveling here. And of course, this is the way we keep the Keshe Foundation free for future and current developments, that they won't be stifled by governments or corporations who seem to many times drag out releases of advanced technology. So we can all participate in this, and I'm thinking perhaps even to some of these 3i passengers perhaps may even appear in some of the testing sessions. But again, this is to keep the Keshe Foundation free, to allow the scientists and the program to be developed without any hindrance. And if you receive a small gift, all the better. And many things have happened in these transmutation sessions. But this is the reason I believe they're here, because they're trying to figure out how humanity has gained access to the knowledge of transmutation. And of course, we shouldn't feel it's a big word or something we've never done before. This is what Christ showed us on the cross, actually walking off the cross as a different man. And of course, within our own structure, we're splitting neutrons or transmuting into the proton and the electron. We have communication sometimes in that sort of transmutation dimension where you think of someone and they call you. And of course, when we rest the physicality and we go into the work of the soul, we've been told to call it the dream, but it's actually the interaction of energies. So we're learning a lot, and I think this is what has attracted some of these entities into this position. As he said, he actually put it both ways, that humanity is far, far behind the Swan or the R2 in understanding it, and probably in the 3I as well. But he said humanity has the upper hand in being teachers in the future. I think Stefania had mentioned that, because we're starting to understand this emotion of the dimension of energy, that we can actually be in two places, one with our physicality and another place with our energies, or on the universal condition on the soul level, or what they call the center. I don't think they call it a soul in the universe. But this is, again, finding out something we're already doing. And of course, one of the main ones is you're transmuting 80% of the energy you need every day to exist. The 20% comes from the food. So your body is doing many of these things that you're not aware of, but now we're coming more and more into understanding. And then, of course, how you move the way the creator moves. And as Mr. Keshe said a number of times, if they knew how the creator traveled or had mastered the transmutation, they wouldn't be in the craft. So this is, they'll probably share some of their technology with us, and we become the teachers of them in this dimension of transmutation or energy. We're both trying to get back to the soul, but apparently man is centuries ahead of this in the energy dimension, but not centuries ahead. I mean, he said we're one step ahead, and he said centuries after that. So perhaps this knowledge is not so common in the universe of the transmutation, at least for those flying in UFOs, and they're curious. And as he said, they're not here on a harmful mission. Otherwise, they would have taken a different space gap, and they would have shown different sort of reactions on the craft in a different path. So we're welcoming the larger structure, the larger family, and this, as was indicated, may be the first time we start interacting with the universal community. So we're privileged and humbled at the same time to go through this process. So we invite you to join. I think there'll be 2 sessions in October. They're getting material ready now for the test. And again, he doesn't always explain. We see a few graphs here and there, but the work is going on quite deeply in the background, and hopefully you'll be there to support. And if not, again, some people are a little bit protective of their souls or think something else may happen in these systems. So if you have the ability, you can always buy a ticket for someone else. Make a donation to the Keshe Foundation, and I'm sure they'll find someone who would like to. There are many, many people who'd like to participate in these tests. So we're just keeping the Keshe Foundation free for humanity and free for the universe as well. Because as we heard with this One Nation network, it'll be extended quite far out into the galaxy and probably beyond. So this is the offer on the table. You can find it in the Keshe Foundation store. And then, of course, he did say that perhaps these October may be one of the last particular transmutation sessions, but then they'll probably go into another type of structure for the coming period. I don't know what that is, but we'll have to wait and see what offers are presented in the store. So thank you all. Join us. And again, consider yourself at this moment a darling of the universal community. Mr. Keshe said in the past that they've considered us insignificant dust in the universe. And he said that we would become significant dust in the universe. So I think this time and this place is about to experience again, a deeper understanding of how the universe works and the process of creation and the rest of this. And of course, how we travel across great spans of the universe, which is instantaneous rather than 60 or 80,000 kilometers per second, which is extremely fast in the matter state, what we see. But we know that's one of the slowest speeds in the universe. Even light itself being one of the slower speeds in the universe. So we're talking about instantaneous movement just by thought, without moving any physicality. So join us, keep the Keshe Foundation free, and continue the developments in energy and wellness, in transmutation, and other many other areas, as we heard Mr. Keshe explain in the workshops many times, the developments, as he just mentioned here, about the pico materials and how this will immensely affect the computers, and so many other things are being developed. So thank you all for participating. And as I said, if you feel a little hesitant about this and what's going on here until you know more, buy a ticket for someone. And again, you'll actually elevate yourself in the entire process, or become more enlightened, I believe. Thank you. Anyone else? Maybe because as a young person or a child, we had a few records and one little record player, or phonograph as they call it. And I used to listen to this song by Peter, Paul, and Mary, Autumn to May. And if you can find that song and you can listen to that song, you will kind of get an idea of transmutation. Enjoy listening to that little song. Autumn to May. And of course, here's the ethos of the creator: thinking good, speaking good, and doing good. And again, it's for you to open this up and explore. Of course, we all think we're good, I'm sure, but I think the universal condition lays a little higher threshold, let's say, and we can, or you can, open this door about thinking, speaking, and acting good. This was the gift that was given to the Christ child, but as Mr. Keshe informed us, most of the Christians missed it, because we read in the holy books it's a gift of gold, it's a gift of incense, it's a gift of precious oils, and so on, all matter state giving, and we've copied that. But these gifts were more on the energy level, in a way, of thinking, speaking, and acting. And I believe this, connected with the World Peace Treaty, creates a beautiful combination of elevation and enlightenment for you, but it's you who has to apply it. Obviously, it's easier said than done, but this is the idea of working or copying the work, in a way, of the creator, thinking, speaking, and acting good. But it's for you to sort of examine it and adjust your reactor accordingly, and work on this sort of shielding. I think this gives you a lot of shielding, even though we don't fully realize it, because when you're elevating others, or you're staying neutral and not being critical of them and the rest of this, it adds to the souls that you're thinking about. If you can think good, even if the person has wronged you, or you felt you've been wronged, or speaking good is the same way. So these are all, in a way, plasmatic dimensions that we can work on. And then, of course, keeping the physicality in line as much as possible. We're not fully there yet. Otherwise, we probably would have left this planet a long time ago, but maybe not. We know the creator is sort of moving in with Mitra, in a way, and this will become the center of creation. So we certainly want to be a shining example of the beauty of the creation on this planet. And this is what, again, through the knowledge, we're being enlightened to this understanding of the thinking, speaking, and doing good as much as possible when you can. And then, of course, you can improve it. And there's fields that are being introduced, or are being introduced, to this planet to make the process much easier. Otherwise, I think we would have already arrived. So thank you, and enjoy the gift of the three wise men.
Yes, my dear Mark, I will also say that this is the key. Think good, speak good, do good. Yes, of course, according to who you are, where you are. Rose for you, marigold for me. This is the thinking. As the big ships from the rich countries, they throw it away in the to the poor countries. And the laborers, with their own hands, they broke the big, big ships. They break this. So the condition changed, in a way. So we have to think good according to our soul, how it works. Speak good according to our soul. Do good according to our soul. So as we see, the thieves and dacoits and criminals are flying freely in their charter planes. But when a small child takes some bread from somewhere to feed the family, there's a court, big court. So, and a juvenile court. So the understanding changes. So this is how we have to understand the good, speak good, do good. And this is the universal love. We have to be, that is why there is this three eyes atlas. That is why all humanity have to come together with Mother Earth, of course. So thank you, my dear Mark. Thank you so much. Salam, namaste, salute.
Thank you, Sweta. So the ethos of the creator, well, and we've just understood that it's this interaction of thinking, and even the thinking is a matter state condition, is a physical being condition. Your soul is that that sun that sits between the two matter state spheres of your brain, and that radiates. It's a plasma that is a spaceship, that is a soul intention that can, with the understanding that we've come to know today and through Mr. Keshe's teachings, that we can transmute to any position that we choose, that we wish for. When you're in your physical body, you're sat or you're standing now, you're in a position, maybe in a fixed position, or maybe in a dynamic position. Maybe you're running along a road or a path, and maybe you're just elevating your physical being between the steps, the gap, and you're just raising your physicality off the planet's sphere, off the earth plane, and creating that space gap. And we know that the energy flows in that place, in that position. So when then we go to the maybe you're as you're running, you're speaking to somebody on the phone, and you're in a position where you are speaking and laughing and giving and having a wonderful conversation, and that soul, that being that you're present with, is not physically with you. It's through the airways. It's through the the device that we're given in that space gap. And it's funny how humanity will believe in this space gap of a phone signal from one position to another but not the energy signal of the soul. And of course, that energy signal and the space gap is one of the same. It's a plasma. It's where the beauty is. And then as you're running along and you are speaking with somebody or transmuting something, some thought, and then you may come across somebody or something or a being or a vertical friend, a plant, an animal, horizontal. Yeah, and you may interact in a way, and it may be because you're levitating slightly, taking another position, that you might feel a different energy, one of elevation, one of enlightenment, maybe, or maybe just nothing. You don't even think about it, and that's what it really is. It's when you don't think. It's when you sense it, feel it. In fact, not even feel it. It's when you're present in the moment that you get the ethos of the Creator. We see these three wise men in this image. They made man in the image of myself. And you see they have, and one of them has stars on his jacket, I see, on his cloth. And they carry these three jars. And you remember Mr. Keshe came along and gave us the empty box of the universe. And man puts in this matter in these boxes and calls it the gift. When it's the thinking, speaking, and then doing that creates the matter. And we see these head devices that they have on. These, I don't know what you would call them, a crown. And then you see maybe the 3 or 4 or 5 jewels that would be on the top. And they would be stars, or they would glisten. They would become something. So they would, to our understanding, they'd be in the matter state, and the light traveling at a very slow speed would create an interaction that we would view with our eyes. And that may bring a thought and intention to us that creates an ethos of the Creator, a beauty, a wonderful thought that we then transmit down the signal of the phone to the other being or the other soul that we're present with. And then we might speak something very beautiful again. And then that leads to doing good. So once you start the process, once you understand the ethos of the Creator, it creates that feedback loop, that beauty, where the more that you give, the more you receive. And this is the ethos of the Creator, present in the moment, giving, receiving too. You have to receive to give. So giving an elevation of energy to another that has a need in the moment for that energy. And we can do that in a physical form as a gift that we present in the matter state. But the true gift is the wealth within, inside us. And that is a free gift that everybody can receive. And you can give it, from your viewpoint, it could be to one position. And that could be, you could focus on one individual or one soul. Or it could be one planet, or it could be one nation. See, there's no limitation. The only limitation is what you think. So once you let go of the illusion, you'll come to the ethos of the Creator, which is thinking good, speaking good, and then you do good. And you're present in the moment. The ethos of the Creator. Thank you.
Okay, well, thank you, Dean and Mark and Shweta. I'd like to add that if we consider the roots of the word good, which is in the word God, and replace the word good here, or just eliminate one of the O's, and it becomes think God, speak God, and do God. So perhaps that's another way to interpret the ethos of the Creator.
Right. And I think we're here for the elevation of the soul, not to take away from other souls or even our own. And when you do think good, speak good, and act good, you're actually elevating the others, which means you're elevating yourself. Even if the neighbor did kick your dog and you're quite mad at it, and you think, he should be punished for it, do the opposite of that, because we don't want to take away from the soul. We elevate the souls through this method and ourselves, and we see a different result. We don't punish, we elevate. So we're creating plasmas when we think, when we speak, and when we act. And this helps us to, in a way, elevate the others and ourselves in this process. Thank you, Rick. And hopefully we continue all these conversations in the Plasma Reactor group starting tomorrow at 7 a.m. in the same Zoom room. Thank you, Rick.
Thanks for that plug, Mark. And yes, indeed, that's a good place to carry on the conversations and go into deeper some of the ideas of the plasma technology. Okay, let's move to our next position, which is the needs and wishes.
Okay, thank you. We, the Universal Council, elevate the soul of the leaders and the population throughout the American continent to live in harmony, respecting each nation as equal. Our wish, our comment.
We, the Universal Council, give freely from our soul to elevate the soul of the leaders to achieve peace in the Middle East. Now, our wish is our command. We are present.
We, the Universal Council, give through our souls that Russia and Ukraine can find peace for the sake of all the families of the planet.
I have a wish also to add for the Middle East. We have a man who wants to make the wars, not to go to prison. And these wars are not necessary and create more and more killing and economic problems. So my wish is that we, the Universal Council, give freely from our souls collectively to Prime Minister Netanyahu, that he chooses, that he is aware of the path of peace and changes the path of successive wars in the Middle East. This is our wish, and our wish is our command.
Okay, I don't see any needs and wishes expressed in our chats. However, there is one question in YouTube from Tony, and it's actually directed to Mr. Keshe, and I will present it at the Knowledge Seekers Workshop. But Tony asks, Mr. Keshe, has Earth ever had a civilization that didn't need food? I thought that's kind of an interesting question. So does anybody like to say anything about that?
Yes, if I can. The other day, somebody was in one of the teachings was asking if God knew that we are such incomplete beings which He is creating. Why did He create us? Was it worth it? And I said that God created us correctly in His image. That's why we were in the paradise. We had everything we wanted. We were walking and enjoying the environment until some jealous or another being or phenomena seduced Adam and said, you go and eat of this prohibited fruit, symbolic man, whatever. And when they switched from the God's rule, which was just not to be curious about anything else but living happily there, then man started to be material, to feed, to find material as his solution. And this apple or this wheat they say they eat, God got angry and said, go to earth now that you didn't respect what I told you not to do. And then they looked at themselves, they found themselves nude and they were shameful. And God says, you go to the earth, you work for the man and you get the pain of the delivery of a child for a woman until the day when you will be delivered from the seduction of Satan. So I think at that level, when we were created at first, which says in religious books, we were eating the cosmic energy. We were having anything we want from that energy. And the moment we started to catch material things around their environment as the source of whatever, then they started to get into the material, which is finite, which is an end to it. So we came out of this eternity of life to the life which has a deadline. So, in fact, we were the images of God. Somewhere in our ancient parents, they have made a fault, and we have continued, but we are elevating ourselves. We are knowledgeable, and we are getting up to get to that level by science now for all of us. So in a way, there was a time we didn't need material. We had everything we wanted. We could grasp the energy of the universe. And then we made a mistake and we lost that privilege. But that's what I thought. Thank you for listening.
I also want to say that in Earth as a physical form, and every soul has to come and take birth here, and they take this initiation of the physical form in the condition of Mother Earth, and it is always, food, and that is when we say the gods we are, when we dare, kind of, we truly dare. We came to incarnate to feel this touch, feel this taste, feel this, all the senses. So in ancient times also on Earth, there were civilizations when they were in cosmic relationship in the universe, and some of the population does know, because they are totally related with the universal law, and know that how they can manifest in the energy level whatever they want to, gold, silver, food, anything, what they want to survive as in physical form. This high level of energy they were now still also in the mountains of Himalayas, as I know, there are rishis and people, those who don't eat, they just survive on energy with physical form still. So there were always these energies, these cosmic population merging with the population initiated on Earth, and they have this ability to understand how to manifest energy in a way that doesn't harm their physicality. So, and rest of the population is always like that, as we are all incarnated thousands of times, and still we are eating food. So now maybe Now we are in this relationship with the cosmos that the 3I Atlas is coming, and there will be a universal communication. We will understand more about this, and I think most of the population will be in this high level of communication, and there's no need of food, and that is the most important thing we need, because half of the world died of hunger, So I will say that yes, there were civilizations. A little bit of that population knows. They don't have the food or these type of energies that we are manifesting. But most of the population are whole. Even the ancient civilization were on food, and this is how things, going on at that time also. And now it came to an end of the cycle. So this is what I know, as I know somehow in the Vedic Puranas and all. I know somehow. So thank you, Tony, for asking. Thank you.
Okay, that appears to have brought us to the end of our program.
Yes. We are here to serve, not to be served, my dear beautiful souls. Ethos of Mitra. Speak good, do good, think good. That is only the key now in this moment. So thank you very, very much. And I welcome you again. Welcome, welcome, welcome to Swagatam into the beautiful, beautiful, beautiful energy of Keshe Foundation, Spaceship Institute organization. Welcome to the beautiful energy of all of us. Welcome to the beautiful energy of all. We are universal souls. So thank you so much for being here. Follow, join, come home. Keshe Foundation, Spaceship Institution organization. Salam, namaste, salam. Thank you so much.
Okay, very good. Thank you, Shweta. And of course, big thanks to all the members and support members of the Universal Council for presenting today's wonderful workshop. Once again, on a Tuesday, today, September 30th, 2025, this has been the 398th One Planet, One Nation, One Race for Justice and World Peace. Our next public teaching workshop will be tomorrow on Wednesday, October 1st, and that will be with the Keshe Plasma Reactor Group, which I hold every week, and we discuss things of the plasma nature. And if you have any devices or reactors or anything else you would like to present, that's a good place to do it. Or if you like to discuss some of the theory and especially the practical application of the plasma technology, Keshe Plasma Reactor Group is a good place to do it. It starts at 7 a.m. on Wednesday. All right. Let me see. I think that's all of the announcements other than the Knowledge Seekers Workshop coming up as per usual, so far as we know, on Thursday at 9 a.m. And that will be with Mr. Keshe, and be the 610th edition of that program. Okay, I think that's it, Shweta.
And then this party time.
Maybe there's one more thing.
Rick, open all mics.
Pardon me? Open all mics? What'd you say, Mark?
Just for the flight video. They're celebrating the party with Shweta that's going on in India.
Yes.
Right now.
Thank you, Mark. Clap, clap, and dance, your beautiful soul. Blessings always, always. Thank you. Clap, clap, and dance. Party time.
I can ask. There we go. All mics are open. All right. Well.
Yes, all mics are open.
The festivities are beginning. Yes.
What's that? What's
Yes.
it?
The neighbors are here. They're coming. You know. So, it's time to do all kinds of things. So
Yes,
yes,
all kind of things. But
the festivities.
but
Yes.
yes, we all want to do that, from beyond. Thank you, Mashik. Thank you.
These festivities, they drown out all the war drums. So it's a natural thing to do.
Yes, of course. Thank you. Please do that. Thank you.
As Mark says, the fun has just begun. All right. Thank you, everybody, for attending today's program. And big thanks to all the members and support members of the Universal Council for being here today and sharing their knowledge and wisdom. And let's go out now with the Flight Enhancement Spaceship Unit music version. And as Sweater likes to say, clap and dance your way into the day. And bye for now.